yesterday was the Freideker about Rebbe's yahrzeit, and we have to be mamshich the heilige Hilula into the week, into our lives, into forever. And we have to understand that the inyan of the Freideker Lubavitch Rebbe's yahrzeit is shaykh to all of Klal Yisrael, and that is, first of all, every tzaddik is for all of Klal Yisrael. That tzaddik doesn't only belong to his kehillah. You have you have the yahrzeit from the heilige Rishash, you have the yahrzeit from the heilige Baba Sali. It's only for the Moroccans. You have the Moshe Leib Sassav, it's only for the Sassavis. So every yahrzeit, the Rebbe the Meile Chuf Ala Food and Lejent. Every tzaddik belongs to Klal Yisrael. A tzaddik belongs to Klal Yisrael. Everyone knows the famous wording from the heilige Beisan from Karlin that said, just like the Eibishter is for everybody, so too Shim Bar Yochai is for everybody. Said these aren't just shaykh to the Rebbe of his shul, for his community, for his kehillah. These are tzaddikim, are the koyach of Klal Yisrael. The tzaddik is soid olam. The tzaddik is the soid of the entire universe, and we need to become close to these tzaddikim. We have to have a connection with all the tzaddikim, not just the ones you pick because you like the color of their hat or the bekisha or the size of the frak. Every single tzaddik is shaykh. A tzaddik that's part of Klal Yisrael's Masorah of Moshe Rabbeinu is shaykh to all of Klal Yisrael, and they all have what to offer for us to learn. Now, there is different kavim. I'm not going to get into it because I myself can't say something that I know so well myself, and I don't want to sound wrong, but I did hear from my Rebbe, Shemayer, and it is a little bit the deepest form. You see that there's different kavim. You have kav yamin, kav smoil, kav emtza, shaykh different spheres, different chachmas, different avoiders, different tzaddikim have different avoiders. And therefore, when we're makasher to all of the tzaddikim Yisrael the Olam, the true leaders of Klal Yisrael, so then we're mashlim in ourselves all of the oiris, all of the kavim, we make our shlama and the whole parts of what it's called. When we accept, if a person only, imagine a person if you put too much pressure, you have sometimes you have your foot hurt, so you put so much pressure then on the other foot, and when you have the first foot feels better, you're off balance because you put too much on one. You want to be balanced, you want to be healthy, you want to be connected to all the tzaddikim. So we have to be able to shep, we have to be able to accept and have shaykhs with all the tzaddikim. I didn't say everyone has to do every minute from every tzaddik. Person has a Messiah, person follows their minute from Dorech Ador, Messiah Sahavas Biyadav, person does the minute, what he did, that's the same Gamma. But the Torah that a tzaddik gives over, the Derech Avoida that the tzaddik gives over, you can't bother, you see, check these tissues underneath that thing. Open up, there should be a box over it. Sure. Yeah, the Torah that every tzaddik gives over, that's shaykh for everybody. And if you think that I'm crazy and saying, what are you saying, new things, this is crazy, and the Rebbe didn't know about this, the other day you had one Rav, one Rebbe, and 1 minute, what's going on? So you should know, the Heilige B'nai Sascha says this, so if I could say it. The Heilige B'nai Sascha says in the Amhagis of what a person should, how a person should fear sich, how a person should live. He says, whenever you see something in a sefer that's geschmack, or you hear from a tzaddik, a derech and avodas Hashem, meaning of Chiddush that could be mislavio, so avada, go for it. Go for it. Person, we need so much help. We need so much help. Today we're in a deep gullus, and Nebuch was stuck with such blood, we're stuck in who knows what mud, and we got to get our souls out of this mess. So avada, when the car is stuck on the side of the road, the more people that help push, the more you're matzliach in order to be able to get out of the mud. We need all the tzaddikim, all the gewaldige eitzes, all the heilige sachen. Fine, the person has a minig, has a Messiah, has the fears, a chanusach. That's not a steer to anything that we're saying, and that's just as important. You have to stay dedicated, but to learn the Torah, to be makabel the eitzes and the tzaddikim, this is our only hope. And befrat a Rebbe, that the entire essence of this Rebbe was not only his Torah that he gave over. This Rebbe, the Freideker Lubavitcher Rebbe, cared for every Yid in Klal Yisrael, loved every Yid in Klal Yisrael, was moise nefesh b'poyel mamish, not died once, but died tens and tens of times from Klal Yisrael. Every moment he was in a sakana for the Torah, for the Eibishter, for Klal Yisrael. Such a Rebbe is the Rebbe of everybody. It's not just the Rebbe of his Kehillah. The Heilige Freideker Lubavitcher Rebbe was the Rebbe of Klal Yisrael. He cared for every single Yid. He cared for every single Yid, but Poil Mamish, and the cared for the Torah. Everybody knows, and there's books and books and stories of under the communist regime in Machshema Mezichrem, how he went and he just kept on opening up yeshivas and Talmud Torahs and Chadorim, and he lived as if there was Mamish oblivious to any of the Gzeiros, teaching and going after. And Avadi kept on getting in trouble, but he went with one thing. So now, somebody told me a story that some big tzaddik had asked him. I think I heard it that it was in a very big English roof. Asked the Girion Rav asked the Freideker Rebbe once about the times that he was held mamish at gunpoint to his chest and they were about to kill him. And the famous story goes that one time the guy was mamish about to shoot him, and the Heilige Freideker Rebbe was as calm and serene as ever. And I just like a little fly in your nose, garnish. Guy's holding a gun about to shoot you to pieces. I was like, no, not even a drop of schwitz, garnish. So the guy asked, like, you're not scared? He said, this little toy, like a real Italian mafia, this little toy that you're pointing at me, only somebody that has many gods and one world that's afraid of this little thing. But if you have one Eibishter and two worlds, this thing don't scare nobody. The guy gets so upset. He's so angry about it. He didn't kill the guy. So somebody asked him, he says, how are you not scared? How are you not scared? The guy said, nicht einmal, nicht zweimal, once or twice. The Freideker Rebbe. So a big Rav once asked him after when they met. They said, there's so many stories about going, you're not afraid, the guy's going to blow your head off, you're not afraid? You see your stuff? So he looked at him, he didn't have this question. He says, you don't say twice a day Shemona Esrei, Shachar Samayr? Kriyishma, you don't say Kriyishma twice a day, Shachar Samayr? Like that's what he responded to him. Kriyishma, the first pasuk, you have to be Mesiras Nefesh. What do you mean? So when it comes to Poil, he says, you don't say Kriyishma twice a day, but Shachar Samayr? Isn't that half of it? It's mamish. Well, like, guy's about to blow your nose off. You're like, this is it. Shema Yisrael Shem Shem Echad. I do twice a day. Like, I'm mamish in the matzah of Mesiras Nefesh. Comes from Poil. I'm going for Mesiras Nefesh for the Eibus. Like, wow, it was such an awesome Geval, the Levi. We should live our lives a little bit away from that. But then I said over Shabbos, the story that I saw in the Sefer, that once the Meshamish heard like a big thump outside the room. It felt like something dropped very, very strongly. So the Meshamish ran into the room, and lo and behold, sadly, he saw the Rebbe fell. The Rebbe fell very hard. He hurt himself. They had to call the doctor. And but at the same time, the Rebbe, there was a certain, like, besides a smile, he was so happy. He looked like he was so happy. So Meshamish asked the Rebbe, he said, Rebbe, why are you so happy? You hurt yourself. We got to go get a doctor. So he smiled. He said, I woke up this morning and I had a feeling. I had a feeling something bad was going to happen. I wasn't sure what was going to be. Now that I see it came upon me and not on another Yid, Baruch Hashem, as long as it didn't happen to another Yid. Happened to me, that's why he was happy. As long as it didn't happen to another Yid. What do you mean? That's a leader. Don't you love that Yid forever? He was so happy. He knew something was going to happen. As long as it happened to him, not to another Yid. That's why he was happy. That's it. That was... More Jews having understand the idea of tzaddikim, how much they loved Klal Yisrael, soul-wise. There's plenty of stories. I don't know all of them now, and it's not we have to get into the Torah a little bit over here. But the idea that the Yidden that was still in Russia, stuck in the hardest times, and the Rebbe was in America already, and he was doing weiter by Mesiras Nefesh, building Torah and opening up Jewish day schools all over the world. The first one that started the Shlichus, the Freideker Rebbe. He still held with B'Poel Baruch HaKodesh clear different happenings that were happening all over Russia. So many stories. So many stories. He sent different, what they send those days, not postcards, they used to send telegrams that mamish people were waiting for chuvas. They wish they could ask the Rebbe, like they needed help, all of a sudden they got a telegram with exact parents. Mamish, clearly, mice after mice. That means his whole essence was there for Klal Yisrael. This Heilige Rebbe, whoever had the schus ever, I don't know, the English, I don't know if you ever were in America, but us Americans are sure have been to the oil from the Freideker Rebbe together with the Rebbe, they're very together. I was just there a few weeks ago, when I was in Achman's Bar Mitzvah. I walked in, and I didn't even get a chance to have the service. I started crying right there. Mom, right away I started crying. I didn't even get a chance like to get into a niggin or something. I just walked in. Maybe I was crying also because I was going very late to the airport. My mom, this was real Messias Nefesh. My mom said to Chabaran. But I walked into the oil of the Rebbe's, talking about the Freideker Rebbe a little bit, and I was taken over by a real serious. I always think about the Messias Nefesh. This is a Rebbe. That is a Rebbe that was doing to boil things that people have never boiled in history. Built up empires of Torah and Tshuva and Kedusha and Pinimis of Torah and Avodas Hashem. And he's right here. And he was going to have a mamshich like the Rebbe, Rebbe, and they're both there. Mamish alive and well. Just being Kabul upon him. Every year that comes to baby, to the host baby, to be able to cry out to them for Yeshua. The Mamish, you feel it. I walked in, I started crying because I just think a little bit of Messias Nefesh of this, the Freideker Rebbe went through for every Eden college for the Torah.
When were you there? You were there when you just came?
I just went up to the Nachman, on the way to the Rebbe. That much of Shabbos, we were there. You have no idea, right? All the times, whenever I'm there, I'm always misboinen. One of the things I misboinen the schus of the Messias Nefesh from the Freideker Rebbe. How much how much he only cared about the Eibush, how much he only cared about Torah, how much he only cared about Yiddishkeit. Yeah, he gave up, he didn't care about himself, he cared about the Eibush and the Torah and the mitzvahs, right? That the whole cage would be running after this one Jew. The whole Kremlin is tumbling about this one Jew. And at the same time, he was able to walk into the Kremlin and rip up the crease, right? Another story, the Freideker Rebbe, still when he was young, knew that there was a disastrous decree waiting to happen. So he told him, we have no choice. You have to go into the Kremlin and rip it up. He's like, okay, can you imagine? He came, Chassid Shahid, young man, the son of the Rebbe. How he knew where to go, and his father might have detailed him exactly where the room. He walked right to the soldiers. You know the story? Right to the soldiers, right to the right room. All the ministers had walked out. He went right to the piece of paper and ripped it up, took it with him. Impossible, right? This is impossible. This is impossible. This is what happened to Matthias. Right? Because he lived at the Eibush, there's nothing else. A mission for Klal Yisrael. It's going to happen to him, didn't he?
It happened when he was in jail. He got there and he was like, they were kind of like weren't sure where to put him, like right or left. And instead of waiting, he just kind of went whichever way he decided to go. And like everyone else on the other side, they killed the next day. Didn't really show like some kind of like statements, like because I think it was like some kind of like from some other country, some prison from other country. He's like, I'm not waiting for the time where to go. I'm just gonna go. This is where we're going to prison.
He went with the Eibush. The Eibush took him. The Eibush went, and it was Zoichem. So with that, Baruch Hashem, with that is kashrus to understand the importance of this kashrus. Let's start a little bit of a Maamar. This Maamar is also very different than the other. It's very, very geschmack. Not that I'm a baki, I wish I was, but I like something. I'm still looking, and you see, he packs in everything: midas, chassidus, avodas Hashem, like everything practical with Torah, with everything. And a Maamar just no. So let's start a Maamar that the Freideker Rebbe gave over, and this is the Maamar. He said this over at Suda Seidah that he had. I'm sure he had many reasons to give Eidah. And this is what he gave us. Pashas Pinchas. It was Shabbos. So this is what he said. And now we're going to get, I might skip the middle to the Tantus in order to be able to, everyone should walk away with something Yishmak. Starts with Azah in Su Yedechem Kodesh Baruch Hashem. You know, David Melch said it to Hillel. Su Yedechem Kodesh Baruch Hashem. Raise up your hands in holiness and bless the Eibishter. So he asks a big question. We have to understand the musig of bracha is an idea of brecha. Bracha is, like we know in the Mishnah, there's a mitzvah of hamavri chasilam, to pull forth, right, to bend over, to bring. It's koich of amshacha. Bracha is amshacha. You bring forth from up, big bracha down to the shore. That's how you make the first bracha to Shmanas, and you have to take baruch atah, you have to make a krichi, you have to bring down the kedusha from the shem yud to the aleph, right? You have to be mechaber davaya aduch, but you have to bring, it's an idea of hamshacha. So if every bracha is an idea of an hamshacha and a revelation of the Eibishter, As we know, that also you have to understand that Shem Havaya, right? Kol bracha v'giluhim Shem Havaya. All the not that's one Indian, and another Indian, which is what he's saying over here, is that every bracha that we have comes from the essence of the Shem Havaya. Every bracha comes from the Eibishter, but not only time, but the Nekuda, the Eibishter gives over the brachas to his name. And in all B'chlal, that's how it works with the Midas. Like we know, the Shem Kale is Chesed Kale Kol Hayom. Chesed comes from the Shem Kale. Shem Elikim is Gevura. Shem Havaya is in the Tferes, which is the Mid of Rachamim. We see that all the brachas come from the names of the Eibishter. Like it says, Hashem and it says, Hashem Hashem right? Do we see it? You're schlepping out of the Kiviyachal, the shame of Hashem, all the Shef, all the bracha. If so, if everything comes from the name of Havaya, what's the union to bless the Eibishter? If everything comes from the Shem, if everything comes this way from the Shem Havaya, how do we bless if bracha comes from the Havaya, how do you make a Baruch Hu Es Hashem? Here's the question. Yeah?
You're saying blessed is he, you're not blessing him.
But it says the Baruch Hu Es Hashem. So Baruch Hu blessing the Eibishter. But Avada means blessing the Eibishter. But the Nekuda is, we always find that it's from the Shem Havaya that we're schlepping essence. Here we see a pasuk that it's like we're bringing blessing into the Shem Havaya. Baruch Hu Es Hashem. So it's different than the other times we find. Lots of Shem. Through when a person is on the Madrega, where he raises his hand in holiness, and Kodesh is a mitzvah of itself. Kodesh Kedusha is a very, very big level, and through that Kedusha, Baruch HaSavaya, Lahamshich Toisus Oir Vagil Bavaitel Asata. The idea when a person fears a holy, when a person is acting by Kedusha, Kedusha is also Amshachah. But when a person is in an Indian of Kodesh, so therefore that creates Kiviyachol, that steers up that the blessing should come from the Shem Havaya. That means when a person is fearing Zich and Heilig and Kedusha, the Eibishter wants the Mamish pour upon him a blessing. So there's a gewisse Indian that that the idea of being Kodesh, when a person Kodesh, when a person picks up his hands and he's zoichet to be that Madrega of Kodesh, through that he's causing that Ubaruch Hu Es Hashem. He's causing Taka the bracha to come forth. And when there's gewaldige blessing and or coming forth from the Shem Havaya, the already benches us from the Shem Havaya up above and creates even more an oifen of bigger ashpa, an oifen of bigger blessing. That means that the idea of that the Nekud is when a person K'viyachol is creating that mitzvah that you're causing the blessing to come from the Shem Havaya. Yeah, you have what I'm saying? You have the Nekuda? When a person is acting in a holy oifen, he's creating himself a kli. It's as if he's blessing the Eibishter because he's causing the bracha to come down. You're creating a cause and effect. You're causing there should be effective bracha coming down. And then I've added that Yivarecha Hashem, the Yishmech, that bracha is coming from the Shem Havaya. But bracha he mitzin, the pasuk ends up, you see that in Gvaz Hashem, and it says over there that the bracha is mitzion. What's the Nekud of Tzion? Tzion is the level of Neshama, which is the Nekudas of Neshama, the begin of Yichida. Asheros Tushlam HaKavon Amiti is the Ois of Shemayim Varetz. He's continuing the pasuk that when a person is zoicha to the Nekuda of his Yichida, his Ma'ir, his Nefesh Ruach Neshama Chai Yichida, he's Ma'ir, his whole essence, in the highest level of the Neshama, he's Ma'ir. So then a person is Zoicha to be mashlim, the whole creation of the world. Because what's the purpose of the world? The purpose of the world is to be completely davar to the Eibishter. And not just in the lower essences, but the complete essences. So when a person is Zoicha through his Nefesh Ruach Neshama Chaya and his Yichida, that's V'rechach Hashem Mitzion, when he's Zoicha to bring the bracha all the way to be Ma'ir, the level of the Nekud of Tzion. Tzion is the begin of the Yichida of the soul. So then that's the whole. Then you be mekayim the purpose of creation of the world. V'hainu shiyah kiyumam shel shemayim v'aretz al yedei kiyum haTorah mitzvahs shal pi avodah shebelev. The also shleim is gimel amudim the Torah mitzvahs v'avodah shaleim ha'olam ha'omer. When a person is zoicha to serve the Eibush with his heart completely, that he was ma'ir all different levels of his spiritual existence. So what happens is at that time, zoicha then, if you're davening, he's going to tell us soon. Person zoicha to make all these avodas, to serve Hashem with his lahavas, to serve Hashem with hold with chilu rechimu, to serve Hashem with your nefesh ruach l'shem chai yichida. So then already that means that your Torah is going to be right. You got to learn Torah with Vekas, and your tefillah is going to be right. You're going to be davening on fire. Your whole essence is going to be burning to the Eibishter. That means your chesed, avodah, the gemilas chasadim. The whole idea is you want to bring forth the gemilas chesed. You want to be from the goyim chasadim. When we're goyim chasadim, Amela causes that the Eibishter should be mamshech chesed, because the world works according to the hashpah of the Erlich Yidin. When the Yid is doing chesed, he's creating weiter a hashlama of all the three kavan of the world. Torah, avodah, chasadim. Fine, that's the pilpul. How do we get to that? How do we make this an avodah in soul and avodah? Al derech Chassidus. Now it says like this. Yeah, this is the Maamar is going to get a little deeper. The Gemara tells us in Yerushalmi and Brachas, Sholosh Tekifesein. We have 3 times Chazal taught us the idea of tekef from a yad. Right away. Things have to be done instantly, right away. Close to the right, meaning right from one thing into the next. What is that? Chazal tell us, tekef l'smicha shchita. When a person makes the smicha on his carbon, you can't just make the smicha and then say, okay, I'm going out for a cigarette and a coffee, be back for the shchita. Tekef l'smicha, got to make the shchita. Tekef l'netilas yadayim, bracha. Person's washing his hands onto his yadayim. So you wash your hands, you can't just, my friend, I didn't see many years, how you doing? And then like 2 minutes later, Baruch Hashem Til Sedayim. Now, take of an Atila, you got to say Baruch Til Sedayim. And the third take of, you all know, is take of Legeula Tefillah. Right after you say Baruch Hashem Gal Yisrael, you got to right away start Shemona Esrei. We don't make a break. So what's the idea? Amr Rabbi Yosef Barabun Kol Mishu Toike Smich L'Shchita Ein Posel Negei Ba'Oisek Carbon. Whoever is Zoiche Taka, says the Yerushalmi. To be kind this thing the Sholosh Tekifis is halach l'maisa. But Yerushalmi says, Rabbi Yosef Barabun said that whoever taka makes the smicha l'shchita right away, then that carbon you could probably guarantee won't have any carbonis. Eipsol the guy buys a carbon. Call me, listen to this. Call me shu tekef unatilas yadayim bracha eina sotan mekatrik bo'isa suda. Unbelievable. Person that's mekayim the halacha unatilas improperly, you should know that the Satan is not going to be a guest at your meal. V'chol mishu tekef geula l'tfila eina sotan mekatrik bo'isa yayon. Powerful Yerushalmi. Person's mekayim these through tekefs right away. So the Satan is not invited to any activity that day. The carbon will be all right, the suit will be holy, and your day will be gavaldik. V'hine, Gimel dvarim elu de smicha v'shchita v'til tzedam v'bracha v'geula tefila hey ma'avoid amitis v'apelimis begimel inyanim. What's the mekuda? Avoid shebelev zu tefila. We all know tefila is the avoid for the heart. Kim ha-mitzvahs shu in gemilas chasadim v'lim da Torah. So he's saying like this: avoid is that we have avoid Torah avoid gemilas chasadim. Avoid is tefila. That's connected to take of tefila l'gula. Kim ha-mitzvahs is the of gemilas chasadim. That's kim ha-mitzvahs. B'kachoyle machnas sorchem. A lot of mitzvahs which are going chesed related. Tzedakah. Elim da Torah is connected to geula. Why? Why is the Torah connected to geula? The chsiv cheirus alaluchos v'amr chazal navish eilcha ben chayir ne'elazesha oisik b'Torah. The idea of cheirus alaluchos can be translated that Chazal tells us there's nobody that's called free, only he was oisik in Torah. Of Medrash Rabbah Shalois, it says, Isa cheirus min ha'golius. When a person's oisik in Torah, after through that, that's the way out of golius. Amr chazal v'yechem v'las d'amit avayu. Torah nitnu ba'arboim. I was given him 40 days. The Torah was given him 40 days, right? 40 days Moshe Rabbeinu was up in heaven. Uneshama noitzre ba'arboim. Tzuras Avlad takes 40 days, right? And I'll say you have 40 days to daven. what it should be, right? And halacha, want to be a girl, after 40 days, it's already been created. So it's 40 days for Tzuras Avlad. And then Chazal tell us, Kol HaMeshamer Tirosoi, Nishmasa Mishtameres, V'nimshla Atorim L'mdeo, L'tzipur D'roi Shenim HaKabelus, Marus Kach L'om D'Atorim, V'eskim D'Atorim, Al Pi Atorim, Im Chafshiyim, Mimaris, Basim V'dam. When a Yid is always attacking the Torah Kedosha, he becomes completely free. Like we know, Mavin Olav Malchus. Vascholos Avoidi Avoidus Atfidu Kmoshikasu Lavdim Chol Vavchem. Vam Chazal Ezi Avoidi Shi Belev. Have Yom Zu Tfila V'Ainu Avoidi Zu Tfila Avoidi Shi Belev V'Im Alev. In Hartzen and mitten Hartzen. You have to daven with the heart and through, right? In the heart and with the heart. That means I avoid to avoid the Shabalev, Imalev. It's not just an avoid of the heart, it's an avoid of the heart with the heart. This is a knetch. Not just avoid the Shabalev, let the heart do the work. No, with the heart, yes, it has to be a fleshig, a meaty, a lev basa de gedamen. Lazois avoid is a tefillah, you soid b'shoyers klalus avoid. The first avoid that you soid for everything is a good davening. Maamar Chazal, ha'omer ein lo yelu Torah, afilu Torah ein lo. ולא ימדו שיקר כי המייסה בקים המצווס בפועל ממש, וגם בחי האוילם יהיה הנגוס על פי התורה דווקא, וזהו בתורה אוהד התורה מאיר לו בכל עניונו, הם בעניונו מה שבין אדם למוקר, והם בעניונו מה שבין אדם לחברו, והיינו דה הכל על פי משפט התורה מובן מאחרי הקדמוס avoided the tefillah. When a person is zoiche to a good davening, through this Freideker davening, he'll be zoiche then to keep Torah as he's after Zan. You just see what it says over here. And the Torah, the Torah handling. Rebbe says, yeah, I got Torah. And Torah doesn't matter. Because the Iker is the Kima Mitzvahs B'Poil. The Gam B'Chai Yoel, me and the Gospel Pia Torah Dafka. Zeh with Torah Oil, that Torah Me'ir Lo B'Chol Yonov. Hein Ben Yonov Shemanot L'Makom. Torah Kedosha makes lechtig everything. Say makes lechtig. Person doesn't come to make any mistakes between him and the Eibishter. But this is all the Mishpah Torah Muvanim Achri Adamas Avodah the Tefillah. What's pshat? All of these things are after Avodah of Tefillah. Meaning, if a person is Zoich to Torah Tefillah, that will be Zoich to all of everything he's saying. That the Torah which will make lechtig, the whole Avodah Be'gashmus U'Rachnius. U'Bi Aranian. The Hine. Tefillah b'makom tamidin tiknu. We know that the Chazal tell us tefillah is b'makom the tamidin. Right? You have shachris, you have ben rabbayim, mincha. Behind the tefillah he t'mur sakarbonos t'chsev adam ki yakar mikan karban Hashem, karban havaya, min ha-behema, min ha-boker, min ha-tzoy, takrivis karbanchem. The karban hu inyan akira v'hainu the b'chdei shodim miskar v'havaya hina mikan b'atzmeichem karban havaya. They have the famous Chassidish Taich that when a person has to be Adam ki Yaakov mikem carbon Hashem. A person has to make from himself a carbon to the Eibishter. That means a person has to be, what's the idea of Yaakov mikem? You have to be makar of your essence, the mikem, and make that a carbon Hashem. Yeah, you have to be Adam ki Yaakov mikem. Adam, you have to be makar of that, mikem from your essence, a carbon Hashem. A person has to mamush make himself a carbon to the Eibishter. Uma ti karbonim min ha-behema, hainu, הבהמה שבאדם שהוא הנפש הבהמיס. ובזה גוף הרי יש חילוק מדרגס בוקר וצוין. In that, how much a person can be makar of his bahamius to the Eibishter, it varies from different levels. Bokar vatzoin depends how much the gashmis, what type of a gushim person is. Omnam hakarbon hu rak behemet tahira, aval atmei pigalu behind da akrovish lo nefesh bahamius hina yochlis rak tzad atoiv sheboy. Aval arashem nefesh bahamius ein lo bir. When a person's coming to bring his little kelbala, his nefesh bahamis, to be into Zavodas Hashem, to shech kiviyach for the Eibishter, about to bring Mekayva to the Eibishter, can only be a kosher behemoth. A non-kosher behemoth is piggle. That gets taken out to be burnt. So that means a person has to bring the essence of the mitas toivus that he has within him. That's what he has to be uplifted. Because the chelek hara ain't le bir. And the only way to be mavar the chelik hara is through, and the Baal Tanya explains already at length, dichel gamri. You have to make first an askafia, right? Before you make an asabcha, you got to first push it away the gamri. Bereishis avoida bavos a carbon in the smicha. The chsiv samich had al roish hoilim ritzel el chaper love the smicha hu aksos a carbon. Ve'inin hu din in smicha b'chlali. We know what is that? How does the avodas a carbon start? By the carbon starts, you have to make the samach yod al roish hoilim. The ritzel el chaper love. What's the idea of a smicha? The smicha is he puts his 10 fingers on the behemoth. He has to make a smicha. He has to lean on the animal. What's the idea of the 10 fingers? Ki eser as boy say yadayim heim neged eser spheres. The 10 fingers are connected the 10 spheres. Uked isa b'sefer yitzira eser spheres. Beli ma mispa eser. It's boys b'berchas Yaakov b'nei Yosef kosav sikei las yadav isa b'bachaya shubchinas. Chai oilumin lahamshich m'shem b'koyah bracha. Yaakov really wanted to bless his Einiklach, you had to put Sikelas Yodov, because you have to be mamshich through the 10 fingers, the Chiyas of all the Eilumis, and also says the same thing by Yeshua, Yismach Moishes Yodolov, because the idea of Smicha is Amshacha, means you lean, but when you lean, you're bringing forth Koyach. You bring forth, when a person blesses with his 10 fingers, you're bringing forth the Kedusha. We saw the by Yaakov, we see the by Yeshua to Yeshua, begins as a sphere should you show so no begins chachma. That big mamshich the as a sphere is leila onto the guy's head, which is the beginning of chachma. The kamoi came even in a smicha la carbon shu adam gematriyama. The person that's bringing forth the carbon adam is gematriyama. What's the olam of ma? The olam of yitzira. That being mamshich begin. It's also the meaning of bittul. Ma is bittul. Mamshich beginnes or elyon al behema begematri ben behema is gematri ben. So you have now moite gezach. Look at the sicher over here. The Adam, right, which is the oilam hayitzira, which is the oilam of ma, is bittul. Is also being mamshich because you go from up to yitzira into the shem ben, which is the oilam hasiya. Your mom is bringing forth from the upper world when you're doing the smich on the behemah, which is the shem ben, which is connected the oilam hasiya. You're bringing forth the kedusha from the higher levels, right? You have being mamshich this gewaltige kedusha. The whole idea is, why am I bringing forth the Kedusha? Why am I schlepping down? Why am I being smicha, being mamshich, the oir elyoin, through my essence spheres, through the Adam Shema, into the behemoth, which is Ben, in order afterwards, when I shech, and I bring up as a carbon Hashem, my nefesh and ba'amis, I'm going to be zoich then to go all the way up to the highest levels. In Iksiv, Ruach Adam, Ha'il, Hilamal, Ruach Behemoth, I read this Lamata. No Pirushruach Behemoth, who begins Shem Ben, because the Bria Tzirasiyah. Uberibo Ishtalshus, who Shem Ben, Sheba Adam, the Hainu Nef Sheba Ami Shavoy. If you go through the Rebo of how everything really comes from upper level, so the Shoirish of the Behemoth is really the Adam. The Nef Sheba Ami Sheba Adam. The Kamoike Nef Sheba Behemoth Lamata is Bikadel Alsa Behemoth Shalamata, Nef Sheba Adam, all the speech, Mam Shavarim Begin Shem Mash, Yichul Salis. What's the Nekuda? The other Zach is that the Shoirish of the Behemoth Shalamata, the Nefesh Ba'amis, is also Nishrash in a Hecherkeit of the Nefesh Ba'amis, the Behemoth, which is Shem Ben, has its roots. Where does it get its coil? From the Adam. The Adam is the Shema. In order to uplift and become holier and become closer and closer as we're getting, working our way up into the Shirashim La'el, trying to get close to the Eivishtim, uplifting all the worlds and everything and our whole essence and all of the Bria to a higher place. And that's what it says. The Hes'alus comes through the Adam. The Chsiv Adam Atem. V'amlu Chazal Atem Kriyam Adam. The Chsiv Acham B'kedem Tzatani. We all know the famous Medrash, right? Gemara tells us that if should never be involved, we're the last of the creations of Ma'aseh Bereshis because we weren't on Friday. But Achabri is called an Avram. The kind of Ma'aseh Bereshis, Shri can call an Avram. But we're before Ma'aseh Bereshis, the Ikar Tachlis of the whole Ma'aseh Bereshis was for the Adam. The Ma'aseh Nivra L'Besoif The reason why we were born at the end, we were the purpose of the whole Bria. So when we come into the Bria, the Eibishter wanted, everything should already be prepared. We could start serving him right away. What's the lowest levels are really just in order to be mishamish the higher level. You take a seed is a doimim. Seed is pashut lifeless. You put it into the ground, and all of a sudden it becomes a tzemech. It's matzviach. Or you show him asovim. Built in his ram, tzmoichim in haaretz. Hay the shimish adoimim lo la tzemech. The whole idea that grass and all these things growing is for the one that's alive. Like this, the behemoths could graze. The behemoths, who b'shil medaber. If I can shecht a beautiful piece of a cow for meat, carbon Shabbos for the chul, carbon Pesach, all these commercial costs of Kiyarek Esim started as Kol Ochlo. Even the behemoths at Tameis are for our need. They're the ones that we can use them in the field. We can use the donkey to make shleperai for us. Everything that was created is here. Because the person is the most exalted from all the creations. Therefore, man is boss over all the other, everything, the animals, the fields, and we do what a person does what he wants to. He wants it to grow. He wants the animal to do. The way to bring up the whole creation of Doimim Tzemei Chai. This is Archana, you have to hear now because we're going to talk about this at length, Be'ez Hashem and Tu B'Shvat. Take a Doimim Tzemei and a Chai. Take all these creations. By themselves, they can't reach any tachas. No tachlis. Leave this copy forever. It will never become a tachlis. Take a killer, put it some besmedrish, it will never have a tachlis. But there's no tachlis. They can't come to the hashlama. Only through man. The Hainu, the commotion, Ivra, kach hem some mitzias atzma. Va'adam hine ikra kavona boy. She'agia l'shleimus mitzad atzmam dafka. Through the man, we can be zoichet to do more than Sachen. The kilo can make tefillin and separate toyers. The grass we have, I could grow schach for the, to be able to put on my sukkah. The diamond I need for the mitzvah of in need of the chol karbonu tikrach melach. There's a lot of things going on. And through my avoida, through the yigi, who the takens and midas ativ mavdas avoida, lavdas Hashem Torah tefillah v'aldezim agia lo shleimus. Through the avoida we eat, through Torah tefillah, that's when the whole world comes to shleimus. It's v'alz k'shoichel as ha'meichel v'chein b'sharion ha'olam k'oich ha'chil v'chein v'evnim v'spal v'mekayim mitzvahs Hashem oz hine masal klolus tim tzemechai v'chein ikra adam kodam l'masturbation. Therefore, man is called the first of creations, even though he came out last. Because everybody's waiting for him. Everyone was waiting for him to come. The whole purpose of everything that came in the first 6 days of creation before man was for the purpose of man. But everything we just explained is very fine and good. That's for an Adam that's doing Torah mitzvahs. Ouch. Hein beheder sees mitzvahs say. Hein basi arachas mitzvahs loisa says. Someone went against what the Torah tells us and broke an essay or a loisa say. We are worse than any creation that was created from the Dom to Mechai. We're worse than even an animal. As you know, an animal does the same thing. He has no seichel, he has no midas. And he doesn't ruin anything. He's just being who he is. I'm a donkey. That's what I am. What can I do more? The tree